I'm Sean Avery. You're listening to the Audio Asylum. And the Islanders suck. Let's go Rangers. Pop Van sucks. Fatso forgot to shake my hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Audio Asylum. I'm your host, Joe. And this week's guest, if you are a fan of rock music in general, and especially in the early 2000s, Justin, how do I pronounce your last name? I should have asked you before we got
Holman.
Holman. Justin
Yeah,
Holman,
Holman.
lead singer of the band Revis. Places for Breathing came out in 2003 with their hit single Caught in the Rain. And right now, their single Killing Time is out on Spotify, Apple Music, and it's a banger. Please go check it out. How are you doing, man? Thank you for doing this.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm having a great day. Thank you for the love for the props on the songs. We've been working hard the last year and a half trying to get a new album out. Robert, myself, and David, and so it's happy. It's good. It's nice to see things finally come to light. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. I'm sure you'd appreciate this. I'm 31, about to turn 31 in a few weeks. When I was 8, I remember the Daredevil movie came out with Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah.
And I got the soundtrack because my grandmother knew I loved the movie, and that movie shaped a lot of my music taste.
Nice. Okay.
And I remember Caught in the Rain was my favorite song off of the soundtrack. And in return, I bought Places for Breathing at a Best Buy.
Nice. Oh wow. There was some great artists on that soundtrack. So like we actually ended up touring quite a bit with Evanescence, and obviously that was the main title track for that movie, promo track. But I mean, like there were some great artists on there, so it was definitely an easy album to just let play from top to bottom.
Oh yeah, I feel like that doesn't happen a lot anymore with movie soundtracks. But when
Yeah.
back then, like, how does it feel currently to look at then and look at now? Because I feel like there's almost like this rock resurgence, but like Crossfade coming back, and you guys are now active again. Do you have any feelings from then to now with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that naturally when it comes to music, it's kind of just like fashion, eventually things kind of come full circle. And if the entity is still around, it gets to, whether it be a band or whether it be a designer or an artist, it just, you get that second wind and you can start, performing again. Rock for a while has been sleepy. I know that metal has its scene has grown tremendously within the last decade and a half, which is great. I love all types of music, but obviously country and country pop kind of took over, and that's cool. My brother writes for a bunch of country artists, and I'm glad it's done well. But I am really happy about rock, kind of getting back on its feet again, and people. I have a feeling that it has a lot to do with people that are, whether they're my age or maybe a little older, their children that they grew up with listening to that music, and so they're kind of like also prompting it to come back because they like they like STP, they like Soundgarden, they like Nirvana, and the early 2000 bands as well. And so like I think that that's also helping the situation, which is great.
Yeah, I think social media definitely has played a positive impact. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, and I'm sure a lot of people do. But I think over the past year, especially like on TikTok, like you said, the early 2000s rock seems to be a soundtrack for teenagers and people in their young 20s now, and that makes me extremely happy because I grew up with that music.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Um, I know, like after Places for Breathing, like there was almost like this. I don't know all the full details, obviously, but the band kind of disparted for a while, and then you guys would come back in about like 2011 with a few singles, and then
Yeah.
a few years ago with more singles. Um, do you feel comfortable getting back, like getting into the details of what brought you guys back together to work on a full album?
Well, so in 2000, it was always so hard for us, just financially, and everyone kind of, after we got dropped from our label in 2004, it was hard. It automatically put everyone on edge. You know what I mean? So like there's just hard for a band to function when there's not a bunch of finances coming in to like, help encourage the art. You know what I mean? Because like it's easy to write the album before you so I don't know, lack of better terms, make it or get signed. But then when you go through the hiccup of getting dropped and having to like write another album and try to stay positive and stay on track, that different problems and issues come in. We tried really hard to do a few things, but we just always had, I don't want to call it bad luck, but just things happen that just kind of had us, not be able to finish things or not be able to complete them the way that we wanted them to be finished. So then, around 2011, we recorded a few songs, the songs were great. We're really proud of those songs. We actually recorded a full album, but we kind of got it tied up into some legal issues, and so it kind of took all the air out, from underneath out of our sail, and we just kind of not separated, but just it didn't get completed. And so everybody kind of did their own thing, and then yeah, a few years ago, like in 2019, I was approached by Robert and Nathaniel, and Nathaniel and Robert had some songs to present to me and David for us to possibly record, which is where the EP Bottles of Lightning came from. But it's funny because we were going to work on that in the early 2020s, but then COVID happened, and everything got locked down. And honestly, and I mean, like we were all vibing and having a great time, chatting and stuff. But like honestly, like it went dormant again because we were going to try to get something done quickly, and we just couldn't get anything done because nobody could do anything really. You know what I mean? So it got postponed a few more years until about 2 years ago. And Robert and Nathaniel and myself did some recorded vocals here in where I live in Southern Illinois at the studio that we record at, called Miss Under Studio in Murfreesboro. And we did all the vocals for the Bottles of Lightning EP there. And that kind of sparked interest in doing some live shows, and so we did a few live shows a year and a half ago. I can't remember if it was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, but and from there, started to hang out with Robert a lot, and we were like, you know what, we want to do a full album, it really just kind of lit a fire under us. And then we started writing Killing Time, the album Killing Time.
It seems like it couldn't have come at a better time, like no pun intended. Like I said, like with the resurgence of so many bands. So the original return, just like a lot of people, 2020 and COVID just kind of shut down plans. Before that, were you guys writing music for separate projects for yourselves, or was it kind of a little bit of a burnout period?
No, I know that Robert has been working with tons of artists in between stuff with Revis. Like he's phenomenal at what he does. He's a music director, so he's been hired by like Lauryn Hill and stuff like that. And wow. David's done the same thing in Austria. He's done a lot of, he's got a studio in Austria called the Mushroom Studio that he runs. So everybody's kind of been doing their own thing. Robert was working on Animal Waves, a project of his. And at one point, he and Nathaniel had a couple of projects, The Yelling and a few other things that they worked on. And this is going back to like the last 10 or 15 years. But, there was always something going on. I wrote an album, a Christian album, like about maybe 10 years ago that I released. So everybody was doing their thing musically. And so, for this to happen, for us to get to where we are today, like one of the lines in Killing Time, the stars had to be aligned perfectly in order for us to be able to have the opportunity to get it done. And thankfully, Robert and I just dove headfirst right in and just started working on an album. We were like, we're gonna just do a whole album because we know that we want to do one. We know that people would like to hear one. So let's just get at it.
It's funny that you mentioned the lyrics in the beginning of Killing Time, because I swear I have that written down over there. If that was like a innuendo for the feeling.
Yeah.
But when you guys were writing the album, was Killing Time the first song that inspired the rest of it?
No, it wasn't. So Killing Time probably came, it was close to the beginning of us recording in the summer of 24. Um, but one of there were a couple other songs, a few songs that didn't even make the album. Not that they're not quality songs, they just didn't fit the atmosphere of the album. Um, but yeah, Killing Time was probably maybe the fourth or fifth song that we wrote whenever we started developing this one. We wrote it very quickly. We probably wrote it in 4 to 6 hours
Wow,
on one.
nice.
Yeah, it came to us very quickly. So Robert and I sat down with some ideas, and it just kind of came out. So it was a special song.
How did you guys meet, like back in the day when Revis formed? I do know I did a little more research, and you guys formed in '99, and the original name of the band was not Revis, right?
Yeah, it was Orco.
Orco. I see. I didn't want to
Yeah,
butcher it if I tried to pronounce it.
yeah. We named it Orko after the little ghost character off of He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
He had like kind of like a witch's hat, with the ears sticking out.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, we were at so Robert and I, the band started. Just to make a long story short, there was a there I went to high school with Nathaniel, and we were in the same class together. He was in a band in high school, and I was just like, I just loved music. I didn't really know if I was a singer or not. I was still finding myself, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was working out at this golf course that is near us, where Robert's father was the golf pro, and I also went to school with Robert. We grew up together as well.
Nice.
But he was in a band with his uncle and with some older people that played like kind of classic rock stuff on the weekends. But Robert and I started working together at the golf course, cleaning golf carts, and we became best friends very quickly. Whether we'd be sneaking away to smoke cigarettes or just to jam out toadies or jam out some kind of cool music that we were listening to. And he was a phenomenal young guitar player, and I was kind of finally realizing that I had him and a couple other people tell me that I was a good singer, and so we just started hanging out, and we just started jamming. And one day we were at my house. It was me, Robert, and Nathaniel, and I had these toys on a shelf from my childhood. And I had that Orko doll, and I threw it at him, and I was like, "We should just name the band this Orko." And he was like, "Sounds cool to me, man." And so that's where the band started. It was Nathaniel, Robert, and myself, and of course, we met Dave when we moved out to Los Angeles and got signed. He was going to Musicians Institute there because he's from Austria. And Bob, our bass player, we actually met him at a local college town, Carbondale, where we kind of made you know, our humble beginnings in this college town. And he started playing bass. He actually didn't even really play bass with us live until we moved out to LA together. He was just like, "Hey, I'm a bass player. I'm good." And we were like, "Well, we're going to LA, so you got to go with us if you're going to play." And we just all moved out to Los Angeles.
Nice. When you guys moved out there and Places for Breathing came out, other than like the success of Caught in the Rain, and was there a moment where you guys were like, wow, like we can't believe this is happening? Like, was there a tour or a show or a specific moment that you guys were like, holy shit?
Yeah, I mean, so we moved out there in 2001. So 9/11 was the year that we moved out there, and like we we were just desperate to do anything. So we were staying with a buddy at his house, and we got in contact with a couple of people who wanted to manage us, or would said that they would manage us. And then went through one who just didn't work out. And then we found our manager that was with us when we got signed. His name was John Zagata, a good friend of ours. Um, and he put together a couple of guys that could help us kind of put a healthy demo together. Tommy Henriksen and Jeff Pilson. So Tommy plays guitar with Alice Cooper currently, and Jeff is with Foreigner, I believe, playing bass with Foreigner. But he's from Dokken. Like, he wrote a lot of the hits from
Wow.
Dokken back in the day. And Tommy had been a single artist that would sign to Capitol and a couple other record deals before they recorded us. But they kind of took the ideas that we had. That we had been working on with Orko, and kind of helped clean them up and just kind of guide us, like we had good songs, you know, we had good ideas and stuff. But they just needed to be produced, you know, and worked on correctly. And so they kind of helped us with that. And that's what ended up getting us the record deal. Um, it was a wild ride, you know, it happened so fast and we were so young that I don't remember many of the details of it because it was just so crazy. But I remember playing at the Whiskey and playing at the Viper Room and
Famous
kind of,
venues.
yeah, and really kind of it setting in like, okay, you know, we can do this. We're all of us are talented at our at what we do. We just need help, you know, learning the gig, learning how it operates. And once we kind of got some help from our manager and from Tommy and Jeff, and obviously from label the Sony Epic, once we got signed, things really started to fall into place.
Is there any song off of that album that, might be from the Orco days, or are they all from them, or a song that's the oldest, maybe?
Seven is definitely one of the older songs. Yeah, so Seven, we were playing Seven in Southern Illinois for drunk college kids in Carbondale, and they loved it. You know what I mean? So Nathaniel wrote that song maybe in 90, maybe 98, 99. And it went through a lot of different versions, right? But it's probably one of the older songs. Caught in the Rain came a little bit later into the development of the album itself, but Seven is definitely probably the oldest one that made the cut.
That's an awesome song. Every song off that album is amazing. Like,
Thank you, thank
no,
you.
no problem. Straight Jacket.
Yeah,
I
Straight Jacket Labels.
I love that song very
Me
much
too.
too.
Yeah,
What,
me too, man.
what is that song about exactly?
I didn't write that song. Nathaniel did.
Okay.
So, but you know, in thinking in past, you know, a lot of his artistry when it comes to writing is he puts that picture there and lets the listener decide what it means. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a beautiful thing. You know, I think that that's a great way to kind of just present your art. You know, here, this is something beautiful. Tell me how it makes you feel. You know, what memories does it bring out of your heart?
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about music too, is you can interpret any song for a different point and time and feeling in your life. And I
Yeah.
think almost every song on that album does that. Like for me, I'm sure it does it for many fans. When
Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh no, of course I must have listened to that album 100 times as a kid, and I still listen to it now. And I was
That's incredible.
very excited when I saw you guys active on Instagram, and I commented through my account, and I was like, "Are you guys back?" Because I don't know how it happened to me because I'm such an active rock music listener. I listen to everything,
Hmm.
but months ago, like I didn't know the other singles a few years ago were around, and I think because I'm like following so many band and rock pages, like it popped up and I was like, "Whoa, they're back!" And then you guys replied. I don't know who runs the account, but somebody said, "Yeah, we're back with a bang." Are
Yeah.
you looking forward to getting like to touring and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're actually going out on a few dates with Hinder later this month on the East Coast. And we have a lot of one-off shows. We're playing in Atlanta, playing in Memphis. So yeah, we're coming back and we're filling the calendar up with whatever we can get. You know, so we're trying our best. You know, we're doing solo shows where we're the headline, and we're doing shows where we're opening up with other bands. You know, so we're excited to just play either way. It's great to get out and to just perform again because that's where the real fun is. You know. I mean, writing an album is incredible, right? But whenever you get to finally apply it, you know, it's kind of like building a car. You know, if you like cars, you like building it, but boy, you like driving it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Is there a live show from the past that you guys like that sticks out in your head as a very fond memory? Any gig specifically?
We played a show. I remember Robert and I flew out to Canada the night after this show in Chicago. It was in northern Chicago. I can't tell you what the suburb was, but it was a massive festival, and that was a blast because it was kind of at the peak of Caught in the Rain, and there were thousands and thousands of people there, and we had another one like that that was in Orlando. No, not Orlando. It was in Tampa, in Florida, and where you're at these outdoor festivals and everyone's singing the chorus of the song, and it just gives you the best feeling in the world. Not even out of look at me, but out of just like people loving the thing that you were a part of creating.
Of course.
Yeah.
Please come to New York City.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to. We're getting close, so I mean, like, I hope that we do soon.
Yeah, it would be awesome to see you guys live. I would take an Amtrak out to Jersey or something. I would go travel.
Nice. Yeah, we're playing Buffalo, Providence, and I can't think of the third one, but later this we're getting close to you is what I'm getting at. So hopefully we get
Yeah.
there.
So hopefully there'll be some maybe stuff a little closer added. I live
Yeah.
all the way in the Bronx.
Do you? Okay, yeah. So we need to get closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could get out to Long Island and stuff or Jersey.
That's funny. Yeah, exactly.
To bounce off that question, when you guys touring with the favorite live shows and that experience, what was a band that you really enjoyed touring with? Did you guys have like a close knit relationship with any other band around that time? Because there was a lot of them.
Yeah, well, we got really close with Evanescence, Amy and her band at the time. They really were kind to us. They were very, very sweet to us, and it was great performing alongside them, because like they had just blown up. So everything, I mean, although they were a big band, everything was new for every one of us. We were all still in our young boots, and so we were all kind of learning together, and it was really special. And their production team was really good to us. So that's a fond memory. Of course, we toured with Fuel, and Brett and those guys were always really sweet to us. Those were good shows. Yeah.
What are you listening to now, Justin? Like, is there any bands or artists in general that you're a fan of now, like in your free time when you listen to music?
I've been listening to. We played some shows with Shinedown. I really like Shinedown.
Love Shinedown.
I think that they're just a great band, and I think that they write really fun songs that are just great. They're just good at what they do, and so I appreciate that. I work out to them. I'll lift weights listening to those guys. I also see I like all kinds of music. I like new music, but I also like old music. Like so I listen to Led Zeppelin. I listen to ABBA. I listen to you know heck, I don't know. I mean, like I love all kinds of music, so it's hard for me to limit it to one thing, because I have such a variety of things that I listen to. But I love all kinds of music.
Yeah, my playlist varies. Like today, when I was on my way to work, it was you guys, then 50 Cent, then ironically enough, Shinedown, Slipknot, and Machine Gun Kelly. It's all over the place, my playlist.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, like I still am a huge fan of Ken Andrews, so like Failure and this and like I was just playing my wife a couple of his solo albums. He has a solo album called On. And if you like Ken Andrews, On is really good. Year of the Rabbit is also another one of his things that he did, and I think that he's phenomenal. I love the way he writes. It's just creative, and it's always inspired me whenever I'm writing. Yeah, but I mean, like bands like Hinder, Crossfade, Trapped, listening to Stone Temple Pilots, listening to Creed, like all those bands, they did something to us in a certain point when we were realizing that we were musicians, right? And so there's these special moments where you hear the song and it takes you back to a place where you were learning music, and it has a special place in your musical heart. And so like it's hard to pinpoint one that did everything, like I mentioned the Toadies. Like I listened to the Toadies and they were such an amazing band, like I growing up and listening to them, it was something I'd never heard before. Or Silverchair, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my God, yeah.
that one, such an incredible band. I don't want to do anyone a disservice by not mentioning them, because there's just too many to like tell you I love them, because I probably love something that every single one of them has done.
Yeah, it's almost like asking somebody what their favorite song in general is or what their favorite food is. The answer changes on a
Yeah.
regular basis, you know?
And what mood you're in. You know what I mean? So I
That
mean, like,
that too, yeah, like angry, sad, workout. Like I have a workout playlist.
yeah,
And it's funny you mentioned Silverchair. Tomorrow is probably one of my favorite songs ever.
yeah,
And,
incredible, incredible band.
and like when you mentioned Creed, like it made me think this is a conversation me and my friends have a lot lately of like how a few years ago the internet kind of did this thing where it was like labeled butt rock, like Creed, Nickelback, like
Oh,
early
yeah,
2000s rock, like the the subsection of the internet was making fun of it so much that like the memes kind of became like mainstream. And then
sure.
it's funny, now we're in 2025 and Creed is like resurged into like selling out arenas again, and now Crossfade's back, and Nickelback is people are sitting next to each other going, Nickelback's good, right? Like
Yeah,
it's kind of
right.
funny how that works.
Yeah, I mean, like people. Well, here's the. I mean, I don't care if I get haters or if people attempt to cancel me, but like people that badmouth bands like that you mentioned, they're just probably really sad people that aren't talented that wish that they were talented.
I
Because
agree.
I have heard every single one of those bands play live. They're not only incredible human beings, but their musicianship is incredible. And haters usually have been hated on hard, and that's why they live that way. But until honestly, if you have that strong of opinion about them, I don't know what your problem is. You didn't get hugged as a child or something, because like these musicians are very good, and like I have a hard time saying something poorly about anyone in general, let alone a musician, because like these guys are boots on the ground working every day, and usually the people that are bad mouthing them are sitting behind a computer and they don't work very hard. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I got a lot of respect for musicians that bust their butt.
Yeah, and it's so easy to be negative and like pick apart something and be like a downer and just be bitter when I think I heard like Kevin Smith say this one time, like, why talk about all the shit you hate when you could talk all the shit you love? Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what
Oh,
I mean?
I love Kevin. Yeah, yeah. I
You're a
mean,
big
like,
Kevin Smith fan too.
oh yeah, of course I am. Like Mallrats was my. I think I literally melted my VHS Mallrats tape when I was growing up, because I watched it. Me and my brother would watch it so much and like quote the movie. So yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Clerks is one of my favorite movies of
Yeah,
all
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny. One of my buddies is going through like a little bit of like a rough breakup. He'll probably laugh at this when he sees it. And we were sitting on my couch the other day, and he goes, "You know what, Joe? Most women don't bring you lasagna at work; they just cheat on you." And I was, like, "That's such a good line from Clerks."
Yeah, I know. That's great, man. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know I can't imagine how busy you guys are lately, and you're also a family man, which I respect very, very much. But I do have to ask because I did not ask this before.
Okay.
Orco to Revis, what bought the name change?
Well, okay, so we found out whenever we got signed, the label did digging to make sure that we could use the name Orco, and they found out that another band in the UK or somewhere else had already been using it, had it licensed or whatever, copywritten or whatever. So they were like, "You got to change your name." Well, we spent literally like maybe months, if not weeks, if not months, trying to come up with a name that not only wasn't taken, but that we liked and that the label liked.
Yeah,
Just name word after word, idea after idea, and like nothing was sticking. One person would love it, but another person wouldn't like it. So we get to the point we've added David Pierbauer to the band. We're wrapping things up with Don Gilmore in the studio with Places for Breathing. Still don't have the official name, and finally, I remember our guitar tech Jason. He was chatting with David, and David Pierbauer looked at all of us, and he was like, "Hey, Jason's last name is a really cool last name, Revis." He was like, "What do you think about just naming the band Revis? That's pretty cool." And Jason had been with us from the beginning. He was playing guitar tech, in Carbondale, Illinois, and he moved out to LA with us. Like he was a good buddy of ours, and we presented it to the label, and the label was like, "Yeah, that's rad. Let's use that name. That's cool." And so we were happy with it. We were also just glad that it was over, that they accepted something, and so we were like, "Fine." The band's name is Revis, and that's where it came from. So our buddy Jason.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll just fire off a few fun ones before we wrap up and I let you
Okay.
go. Your favorite vocalist?
Oh,
You could
my
give me a
favorite
top three if you
vocalist.
want, because I know, like we
Okay.
said, it'll probably change throughout time.
Okay, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, and um, oh, probably. Boy, this is hard.
I know it's
Um,
a tough question.
yeah. Probably Lane Staley.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, from Alice in Chains.
Oh, I love
But
Alice in Chains.
you know, part of that magic was him and Jerry singing together. So it's hard to not mention. It's hard to mention Lane without Jerry because Jerry's and his harmonies were haunting, and that's what made them so magical.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to answer that, but I really, really love Freddie. I mean, like, just the things that he did, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. His vocal. Can I add one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
I absolutely adore Bruno Mars.
He's great.
I think that Bruno is incredible. I think that he's got this, like, you know, you can obviously tell he loved Michael Jackson, and he has some of that in it, but he also has his own original flair. So I would probably, actually, I would go as far as to say I'd put Bruno up with Mike and Freddie.
Nice. Those
So
are all great
yeah,
choices.
and notice that most of the, I mean, like, obviously Freddie's rock, but most of that's pop. You know what I mean? I like, you know, I just love good male singers, and they just, their catalogs are just, it's so incredible. So
Oh yeah, if you can't find any joy in any of those artists, like you said, probably never been hugged as a child.
yeah, yeah.
Um, a band that you would love to tour with in the future.
Love to tour. I'd love to tour with Shinedown. I really like those guys. I love their music. Hoping to tour with Creed, or
Oh,
Alter Bridge. You know, anything in the Tremonti camp. You know, we love those guys. They're incredible.
Tremonti
Um,
is my favorite guitar player. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, and Mark's a, he. I don't know him very well, but from the times I've met him, he's an incredible person, and his band, you know, his team that he has around him, they're all incredible too. You know, we'd love to play with Stone Temple Pilots because they're still going. You know, even though they don't have Scott, they have an incredible singer. Um, the sky's the limit. We'll just see. But I would really like to play with Shinedown. I like those guys a lot.
I saw Shinedown at the Garden. I've seen them a few times, but I saw them at Madison Square Garden to start my summer. And I've been
Nice.
to a lot of concerts like since I was a kid. And number one with the Bullet by far.
Yeah, yeah, awesome.
They put
Yeah,
on a great show.
their show's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Favorite song to sing live?
Favorite song? Well, Caught in the Rain's a lot of fun, you know. So I mean, like, that's an obvious go-to. But for me, some of the newer songs that we're playing, we have from the EP. I love singing "Bottles of Lightning" and I love "My Imagination." I also love I love singing this new song from Killing Time, the album Killing Time, which is coming out November 7th, by the way. I
November
wanted to say
7th.
that. It's a song called Honey Castle. So Honey Castle, and there's another song called Cool Black Top that we wrote last summer that I love to sing. They're I don't know. I love singing all of them. And like the song that you mentioned, Straight Jacket Labels. I love singing that song. It's great. City Beneath is great to
Love
sing.
that song.
Reuse is great to sing. Just a lot of fun stuff. You know, like, I've come to the point as a singer where the songs are second hand. You know, they're like the back of my hand. Like, so I don't really have to think too much on them while I'm singing them because they're just in me. And so, with that being said, all of the songs are very enjoyable to sing because I don't have to try hard. I'm just enjoying them as they come out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love Spin too.
Oh
Spin
yeah,
is a
Spin.
great
Yeah, that's a
song.
good song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um.
Thank you.
Oh, of course, man. Is there any artist that you would like to collaborate with?
Oh man, all the guys I just mentioned, you know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would love, and I'd love to collaborate with a female artist. You know, I've actually, Robert and I have actually been working on songs, you know, to possibly, you know, whether it be like Izzy Hale, you know, that'd be cool to
She's
work with her.
amazing.
My brother Mark wrote with them a little while, like a few years ago, and he said he really enjoyed them, and I love her voice and their guitar playing and stuff. So it'd be cool to work with her or Amy from Evanescence. But like, yeah, I'd love to do a song. I heck with Chris Daughtry, you know, with the guys from Nothing More. They're awesome.
They're a great band.
Yeah, incredible band, man. You know, and I'd love to do something with Scott, you know, with Creed or with Miles from Alter Bridge. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, they are. They're endless. But like, you know, there's just it would have to be one of those things where like the song was perfect and both people or both parties were like, yeah, let's do this. You know, let's marry this bad boy. So I hope that happens because I'd love to do it. I'd love to do that.
That'd be amazing. I'm putting it out there in the world that it will
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, one more, just a fun, two more fun, funny ones, just because we're getting close to Halloween. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Ooh, okay.
I'm a big horror guy.
Okay, yeah. So the I don't know if I'm going to say the title of it right. But it was a Netflix movie, Hill House, The Haunting of
Okay,
Hill
Hell
House.
House.
No, The House on the Hill or something like it's a Netflix thing. It
Okay.
has Carla Gugino in it. It has The Haunting of Hill House, I think it's what it's called.
Yeah. All right. That sounds really familiar
Dude,
now. Yeah.
yeah, that is really cool. The first, not necessarily a movie, but like the first season of American Horror.
Okay.
That's really rad. But yeah, I mean, like if I was to go back to being young, any of the Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, I mean, like that or any of the Jasons, like any of the stuff with Jason in it, like Halloween's, those are all really rad. But I also love cheesy ones, bro.
Me
Like
too. Yeah.
I love Critters. Like I'll be
Oh
watching
my
like
god.
if I see Critters on television, I'm like I'm watching Critters. Let's do this. You know, like I'm such uh, a sap for those cheesy 80 ones because like I don't know. I guess as a kid they might have scared me, but as an adult I just chuckle at them and I just enjoy them. You know. So.
Yeah. Like what was it? Gremlins and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gremlins. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare. I love the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Dream Warriors is my favorite one.
Dude, Dream Warriors is sick. Yeah. I mean, like
Number one with a bullet.
that's nostalgia overload.
Yeah. Welcome
Yeah.
to Primetime Bitch is probably my favorite line in any horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
This is just a fun one I just started asking people. It's midnight, you can't sleep, you're hungry. What are you getting out of the fridge or the
Okay.
cabinet?
Okay. Probably popcorn.
Nice.
Like we're big popcorn people here. Like we you know a lot of people are like ice cream people or you know like candy bar people or whatever, but like most of the time we're air popping some popcorn and putting all kinds of fun stuff on it and snacking on that. You know that's an easy go to. You know and like you said, I'm a family man, so we got kids, so everybody enjoys it, so we can all eat it. So and my wife makes very good popcorn, so.
Oh, like from scratch, kind of?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Oh,
She
man.
does it right, not out of a bag. She does it the old school way, and it's really yummy. So
That's cool. Tell her a salute from the Bronx. I respect that.
I will.
Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. I could keep talking and asking questions forever, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But
No,
thank
man.
you for doing this so much, man.
Oh, you know what? You're very welcome, and it's an honor and privilege for to be on with you, Joe. And you know, if we haven't discussed enough this time, let's do another one in a little while, and we can catch up on what's happened in between. You know, I'm happy
Oh
to do
yeah,
so.
man. If you would like to come back on after the album comes out, that would be great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. And let's manifest a New York City show, maybe the Gramercy Theater. If
Oh
anybody's
man.
up there listening above.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Somebody do something about that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, Justin. Oh, well, before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, please go listen to Killing Time on Apple and Spotify. If you haven't heard Revis and you're just figuring this out now through my show and you're one of my friends or followers, please go check out the whole album, Places for Breathing. Check out their singles. Follow Revis Sounds on Instagram.
Yes, please. Yeah,
And,
follow us on YouTube. And that Killing Time, the full album comes out November 7th, so it'll be available everywhere. All 10 songs. It's gonna be amazing. So
November 7th, Killing Time. Guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Justin, I'm going to say thank you one more time off recording. and we will see you next time. Oh, wait, whoops. I'm looking for the stop button.